Hey guys, it's David here, back with another episode of the Cerebral Palsy and Fitness podcast. I have Ladell Hill. He's the founder of the Taste of Earth, and he's a nationally known individual that focuses on health and wellness using herbal remedies. And so I'm excited to learn about what he does with the company itself, how he's helped so many people improve their health and wellness, and just have fun here on the podcast. So welcome, Adele.
Welcome and thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about how you got into health and wellness.
Well, I got into this space many years ago. I grew up in a very small town in Lebanon, Tennessee, about 30 miles from Nashville. And I learned pretty much the majority of what I practice today from my grandfather. My grandfather was known as a medicine man. Um, from that young age, he took me in the woods and showed me certain compounds, or really not the compounds, but plants. And these are the particular types of plants that I would be consuming for the rest of my life to keep my health in check. And my grandfather couldn't read, write, or drive, just a team of mules and a tractor. But everyone
Wow.
knew about my grandfather. And he used to take his wagon and his shepherd dog into town. And I'm a little boy just riding with him on the wagon into the small town. And people used to come and get herbs from him, purchase them, or even he used to give them to him. But anytime an individual got sick, my grandfather was the one to go see.
That is awesome. So he's kind of your motivator, your inspiration to get behind this venture you're on. And so
Hmm.
you've not only uh, worked on this venture, but you've been pretty much all over, right? You worked with A-list celebrities, with global executives, all kinds of people. And I think I've also read that you even toured with the musician Santana. So that's awesome.
I didn't tour with him, but his wife, which is Cindy Santana now, she used to be with Lenny Kravitz. So I used to help Lenny Kravitz with his diet, and I've helped Cindy with hers. And obviously,
Wow.
as Carlos being her husband, he's going to try the products, and it's a particular smoothie that I make. So go back to what I learned from my grandfather. I just started practicing herbs for over 30 years, and I got interested in how he didn't know how to read, write, or drive. How did he know these particular types of compounds that grow naturally would help you with your health? So I got into studying chemical compounds in plants by studying biochemistry books and chronic and debilitating illnesses and diseases. And once I had a clear understanding, it was more like a puzzle to me. I study one piece, I study a piece over here, study a piece down here, and I started putting these pieces together until it made sense.
Have you reached out to, I guess, small shops, maybe retailers, to see if you could sell any of your products or get it out there for further?
Well, I created a product called Chuice, Chuice. It was the first chewable juice, and you can get that online. It's as you the first stage of digestion is to chew. When you chew, you release amylase. Amylase is an enzyme that breaks down all complex carbohydrates. Fruits and vegetables are complex carbohydrates. I created that product, and the particular herbs that I've created, the blends that I put together, address some of the chronic conditions that's going on in today's society. So you can find a lot of my herbs and products online. My smoothies have been in retail shops, health stores, Whole Foods, you name it. But it made more sense for me to do most of what I practice online. And I'm a speaker. So I speak and teach people about health. They call me the health coach. They call me the molecular health specialist. I have so many names. Nature's man. It was interesting because I was in the woods yesterday, and I come across some wild turnip greens, and then I come across some turkey tail mushrooms, and all those have medicinal properties. And these are some of the things that I learned from my grandfather.
That is awesome. And I myself, I'm a big tea drinker, so I like drinking a lot of herbal tea, ginger, turmeric, slippery elm, all kinds of teas. And so I'm actually interested in checking out the website and see if I could try some of your products. And because I have cerebral palsy myself, so I'm always looking for different alternatives
Hmm.
as opposed to just pharmaceuticals, to help me feel
Well, it,
better.
well, it sounds like you're starting off on the right track, especially if you're taking slippery elm, because in today's society, the majority of us have what they call intestinal permeability issues, anyways. Intestinal permeability, it's like an umbrella over every other chronic condition that manifests in the human body, from leaky gut, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, and the diminishing of friendly bacteria in your gut. If you don't feed your digestive system what it needs, and I always teach and educate, consume compounds for a purpose, not because of what you see and what looks good to you and what tastes good to you. You got to focus on your pancreas, your liver, your gallbladder. They have to be fed. And once you understand what they need to be fed, that is the best way of getting your health back.
I mean, that's and like you said, sometimes you have to always look for alternatives, but in reality, the path to getting good health really starts with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And education.
Education, yeah, which is what you're doing, and it's always wonderful to see people out there making a difference in the world, whether health and wellness, advocacy, and at the end of the day, we're all advocates. It's just we advocate for different things, you know,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
that's the best part about being a speaker is we get to go out there and do what we love to do.
Yes.
So what is your ultimate goal when it comes to doing what you do now? Do you have a do you have a timeline to how far you want to take it?
Not really, because I was in Wyoming, I would say 6 months ago, studying on the reservation with the Native Americans. So I'm kind of like a nomad. I like to learn. I'm all about absorbing energy and information. And then I just give it back to the general population because we live in an extremely toxic environment, as you know. There's a lot going on with our energy, and there's a
Oh
lot
yeah.
going on with depriving our organs and
Mhm.
cells. So there's a lot of deficiencies going on in today's society, all over the world, but definitely here in the United States. So for me, it's all about educating and helping people to live a much more quality, healthy life by consuming what our Creator has given us.
So, what would you say to someone kind of starting out in their own health and wellness journey that wants to experiment with, I guess, herbal remedies and medicines?
Well, the first thing I would start off is I would advise people to read what they're consuming. That will be the first thing. And you probably heard that before. If you
Oh
can't
yeah.
read it and you don't understand it, don't consume it. Yeah, it goes a little deeper than that. I would probably tell people that you really need to start putting compounds. See, I'm not a big diet guy by any means. I'm more of a guy that educates about, okay, you're 20 years old. That means you have an abundant amount of digestive enzymes, and you're only allowed to get away with this for a certain period of time. Okay, now you've gotten to be 30, 40, 50. Everything changes when because I'm 56. So when you get a little older, your body has to have certain compounds because you don't rejuvenate cells quite like you did when you was in your 20s, and you can't get away with it. It's all about understanding, having a relationship with your organs. That would be the best advice that I can give anyone out there in the general population. We all know we live in a toxic environment. You got COVID, you got flus, you got all sorts of things, preservatives, pharmacological agents. When you have all these different types of compounds out there that you're ingesting on a daily basis, think about it. What does that mean? You have to flush these things out of your system. If you don't, it will cause some form of abnormalities in the body.
That's right. And for someone, you say yourself, you look 56. I don't even. I think you look way younger. You have to really take care of yourself. It really helps out.
I was taught to, your health is your wealth.
That is true. I mean, at the end of the day, you only have one body, and you ultimately control what you do with it. You know.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's one of those things where you have to, like you said, watch what you consume, uh, watch what you do, monitor everything, you keep track of everything you eat, because a lot of people don't keep track of what they eat. They just eat. I used to be one of those when I was younger, stick whatever. And
Hmm.
then now I'm more like I watch what I eat because with cerebral palsy, it's very easy for someone like myself to gain weight or to develop something, further ahead. So I try to keep track of what I eat. I stay active all the time. Um, as I'm getting older, I look for other ways to help uh improve, not improve just my health, but longevity in the long run. Because because what's the average age of someone here in the US? I think it's like 78 for life expectancy,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So with your remedies, it seems like we're trying to push that further. So that's a good thing, if we can do that.
It's a good thing, but then again, it's more about quality of life.
That's
See,
right.
I push more of quality of life because you can live to 78 years old, but are you in pain every day when you wake up? Do you have brain
Yeah,
abnormalities of forgetting
exactly.
things when you wake up? So there's always something out there that will solve that situation, and that's why I'm here is to find it out what's going on with an individual and just give him some information that will enhance his health and give him a better quality of life.
That is awesome. And what is your do you have like a main resolution or a main goal for this year that you want to accomplish?
Not really. And the reason why I don't is because I'm not one of those kind of guys that need a lot of popularity and, need a lot of followers. I let things in my life happen organically, the same way with what I put in my body. And the way I age has to age organically by what I put in. So it's the same way. When I come across people, a lot of times if they have some type of abnormality and I can help them, it's always organic. It's not a sales pitch. It's not in your face trying to make changes. It all happens naturally. So whatever the creator has for me, for whatever I know in my head and how I can help the next man, you know, I will just follow that energy.
That's how it should be. Just as I said, go with the flow. Just let it flow
Absolutely.
naturally. It's definitely been a pleasure having you on, and just learning all about you. It's so exciting to learn, to go above and beyond what health and wellness is and all these different techniques. And I'm definitely looking forward to checking out the site, checking out some of the products, and see if I can incorporate some of those techniques into my diet and help me improve what I have. So
Yeah,
thank you for. Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Go
think the
ahead.
first thing, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I think the first thing that every individual need to do, even yourself, you have to figure out what is it or where is it that I'm showing some premature aging in my life. Could be brain abnormalities, could be skin abnormalities, could be intestinal issues. When you find out what's going on with your body and how it's starting to age, because all of us have weak links, then you address that. And when you address that, you go to the next one, the next one, the next one. It's no different. And I would say tuning up a car. If you know you need an oil change, you change the oil. Then your spark plugs. And then before you know it, at the end of the day, you don't wash the car, you got your armor all on, and it's nice and shiny, and you're ready to take a road trip. It's the same way with the body.
Yeah, I mean it's I like that analogy of the car. It's pretty cool how we can compare, or the comparison of the car, we can compare it to that. So yeah, it's pretty much like a car.
There's,
You got to maintain it.
yeah, there's a lot of comparisons, that can make people stop and think. I always describe your organs and cells from your pancreas. And I don't know if you know exactly how your organs work. All of them have a responsibility. And I always tell people that if you get to know your organs, that is like being married or being in a relationship with your partner, because it's all about communication and listening. That's what it is.
I like that. I like that. That's really clever, and that's actually true. It is. I mean, I can't say no. I mean, for people, it's people have different opinions, but I agree. It's definitely like a relationship. You know,
Absolutely.
you got you gotta take care of yourself, maintain it. Um, yeah, it's like I said, it's been a pleasure having you on, and I definitely look forward to seeing how many people you can reach, and spread your message of awareness and improve health and wellness for so many people. And I hope it helps me as well. So it has taught me a lot just sitting here
Absolutely.
speaking with you today. Just speaking
Well,
with you and
I'm
learning.
I'm an open book. Anytime you want to reach out to me and ask me some questions, I'm here for you.
And definitely, I will. I will, and I'm sure a lot of the listeners on the podcast will, as soon as I link all your information, and I'll make sure to redirect them to you if they're interested in starting their own journeys as well. And the podcast, you can find it on iTunes, Spotify, uh, Pandora, any major podcasting outlet out there. You'll be able to listen to it. And I always usually end it with, if I can do it, so can you. But I usually, when I have a guest that's been so motivating and inspiring for so many people, I say, if we can do it, so can you. So thank you, Ladell. Thank you for being on.
And thank you for
And
having me.
definitely, and I hope to have you guys enjoy this episode. So take care and see you again soon.